Share it? Oh. Yo.
Anyway,
120 suicides.
The other pieces that I wanted y'all opinion on, and this might get controversial, I don't know, is the aftermath with Ryan Clark and RG3. Because
now this is juicy. Because
Ryan Clark, it starts with RG3 analyzing the whole situation we just described, particularly the basketball part of it, and deciding that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. That was his analysis. Yeah, he said Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and he said, I got 5 or 6 examples of this. You can see from the foul, you can see the way she responded, that it's personal, she hates him, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. That was the RG3 analysis. Ryan Clark, his colleague at ESPN, responds and basically says RG3, I'm paraphrasing, but RG3 is full of shit. He's wrong, and the reason he doesn't understand what happened and the reason he has this analysis is because he goes home to a white woman, or he doesn't go home to a black woman, and so he doesn't understand black women, how they think, their emotions, etc. That's the gist of Ryan Clark's analysis,
which was a valid point. Which was a
good.
You said free? You said it was whack?
I was whack and dismissive. You don't know that just because he goes on to, he got white sisters, he got black sisters, he can have all these other women that are black in his life and still get and understand what they're going through. I don't like how you just go right off and dismiss somebody's shit just because of who they go home to.
Mm-hmm. I think that's ass. I think you could look at people and tell. If we're having an honest talk,
you could look at somebody
and tell. It's going to a white girl. Don't nobody look at. Well, I don't look at him and think.
A lot of them do. That's the point.
I think more fairly. I think more fairly. He said he works with them.
They don't know him.
He said he works with them and has conversations.
But I think this though.
Well, hold on, because I just want to give Ice, because even if Ice is right, RC went on to say that while they work together, he has overheard RG3 saying shit like, whether he was joking or not, boy, I love milk. Mm-hmm. I love this milk. Making a whole lot of I love milk.
He's been posting that on Twitter for.
We've seen him on Twitter behaving that way for a while. So I think when somebody behaves like that,
but
let me do this real quick. Let me read what he actually said, so we all on the same page, so we can be honest about what he said. When RG3 jumps onto the hate train or the angry train, it now follows what we saw from Keith Olbermann and David Portnoy as they poured onto Angel Reese to make her a villain and Caitlin Clark heroic. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. If you're RG3, when was the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what Angel Reese is dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. And then he goes on and on and on. And then this is the part that you just said. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady. I've had a conversation with her. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what black women deal with a lot from black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. So I'm just saying, I just think that context is important.
Very important. Yeah. Very important. Okay. I do get that.
Does that change how you feel about what Ryan Clark said?
Yeah. Now I have more context. Yes. Because the way you said it first, I'm like, that don't necessarily.
And that's why I feel like I wasn't exactly saying it right. That's why I wanted to read it first.
Yeah. But he went in because he know him, he worked with him, and gave some extra backstory.
No, he's been for a long time actually.
RG3
he's been saying some wild.
He take that
for a long time
approach to a lot of that shit a lot.
Yeah. If you go home to a white woman, you go home to a white woman. But RG3 is doing something else, according to Ryan. I don't know RG3, but according to Ryan Clark, he's doing something else. He's like this. It's almost like he wants to be with her because she's white, or he's obsessed with whiteness. Remember Hubert Davis got the job at UNC? It sounds like. He was like, "I'm proud that my wife is white," which is different than "I love my wife and she just happens to be white." Right? I'm proud that she's white is a different thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I think
they caught my man Hubert Davis lacking on that one.
Yeah, and I don't think he meant it the way he said it.
I don't think he did either.
But he said it, and I definitely went in at the time. But if he said, "Look, I didn't mean it that way," I'd accept it.
Why you ain't give him grace?
He don't give grace.
I give grace all the time, but I don't.
No, seriously.
I don't know.
Hubert Davis. I'm certain he was nervous. His alma mater. Dean Smith was there for however long. Roy Williams, whoever he took the job from. But I'm saying, you know that he's nervous sitting there having to give that speech. He should have said it. I don't ride with what he said. But I know that he was nervous.
Thank you. That's fair.
Okay, so let me just stop this video real fast, because this all started because RG3, he decided to take Caitlin Clark's side after Caitlin Clark decided to foul Andy Reese. And he has a right to pick whoever side he's on. But apparently to Ryan Clark and all these other sports analysts, you can't take Caitlin Clark's side against a black woman.
But just to not lose sight of this, my question would be still, even if that's true, even if RG3 is obsessed with white and his white wife and all of that, does that still mean that he doesn't have the ability to understand Angel Reese or black women? He's had a black mom. He probably has black siblings, maybe black sisters. I don't know. He's certainly been around black women. I mean, even if all that's true, it seems like the wife part might become almost like a easy, I don't call it cheap shot, but he could say he's not tuned into black women's experiences without doing the home thing. Because I think the home thing becomes a distraction.
I think anytime you involve people's wife and kids, you're running the risk of looking away. And Ryan Clark is amazing.
Yeah, and I love Ryan
Clark. And I like the sentiment in a lot of things he said, but I think that some of the jabs in the family realm were
it gets a little muddy.
You lose some of the audience unnecessarily.
Yeah. That wasn't necessary. He could have just.
Even though I think he's right. I think he's right about RG3 based on what I've seen from RG3. True. Not because of who his wife is. I'm saying RG3 does a lot of cornball shit. RG3 does a lot where he seems obsessed with white and white people and showing the world how connected to white people he is. And that makes me think he might not be empathetic to black women. If you were married to a black woman, I would say that, based on what I've seen from RG3.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that who he is and how he's been representing himself over the last decade and a half, he just seemed like a corny dude that'll say some funny shit. Or he might think like that. Because a couple things it's a lot of black people, fam, that feel like I'm better than that. It's a lot of black people that look at her like a ghetto girl.
Who?
Angel. That are critiquing her and dissing her too. You get what I'm saying? So I think, I'm telling you,
he's right.
You're wrong, Joe.
He's right.
It's a lot of black women dissing her. So what I'm saying is, I think that RG3 just came in on some goofy. You know what I'm saying? I think even if he was married to a black woman, his type of black woman still might be a black woman that we might look at like, I just think he's one of the black that sit on the other side of the gate.
I want to reply to that, Couch, saying that. I'm not arguing that that black women are not dissing Angel Reese.
Okay.
I don't think that I haven't heard or seen highlighted a diss from a black person that's in the same realm as the Dave Portnoy comments.
I didn't hear Dave.
No.
Okay. I'm not saying it's the same degrees.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is that there are black people that sit on the other side of that gate and feel like, yo, dog, look at these Donald Trump supporting heavy supporting black people that come out and say a whole bunch of dumb ass in support of Trump. You could be a black Republican and not say some of that shit that they be saying. So I think that at RG3, he just I guess like a goofy that be just saying bull.
Right now, so first of all, I want to thank you so much for tapping into my channel. I appreciate y'all. And the clip I want to show y'all, that was Joe Budden Podcast. They were breaking down the viral moment between Ryan Clark and RG3, because Caitlin Clark, she decided to foul Andy Reese. And when that happened, that's when Andy Reese decided to step to Caitlin Clark, asking her on the court, what the F is your problem? And Ryan Clark, he decided to take Andy Reese's side, but RG3, he decided to take Caitlin Clark's side. And that's when Ryan Clark called out RG3 and said, you don't have a sister as a wife. And that is the reason why you took Caitlin Clark's side. It also said that basically he was a sellout. But the funny thing is that Ryan Clark, he has a white baby mama. So I don't understand why he would say things like that. So that is funny how he's going to call out RG3 saying that you have a white wife, but at the same time, you have a white baby mama. So that is crazy. And y'all heard Mark Lamont Hill, he said that maybe RG3 doesn't understand black women. But the crazy part is, he's black himself. And he has a black mother, probably a black sister as well. So you mean to tell me that because you have a white girlfriend or a white wife, you can't understand a black sister? doesn't make any sense. So, let me know what you think about this. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next videos.